Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to OP.GG reviews. So we've done these, well, we did them a little bit more in the past. Took a little break from doing them because there was like a 2 week span that we did like 3 episodes. So I think there's been like, 2 weeks or so that I haven't done them. And you'll notice the first profile we're on is mine. So I've been focusing on my main account a little bit more over the last couple of days. Well, actually, I'll show you when. And I thought, because I'm climbing again, I purposely thought I'm going to not look at my op.gg or my Mobalytics, either website's fine. And I'm going to wait until I do an episode, as I'll do an op.gg review of myself. I'm going to try and be as unbiased as I possibly can, but there obviously will be some bias, because like when I say things to people who give their profiles, it's like, oh, you should do that. Usually there's always going to be a reason for why they do something, and obviously I know my own reasonings, but we can just look at the statistics and what that tells me and what I need to improve on. And this is a good example of, like, you at home, this is what you should do to your own profile. I'm doing it right now. So obviously now, just say I'm in Diamond 2, literally just got promoted to there. You can still see I've got a very low amount of games played this whole season. Not even hit 100 wins yet, so I've got a long way to go. Like, I usually don't get over 500 games played per season. But obviously, the way that the channel has worked is Unranked to Diamonds being the main series of the season so far. When that ends, which is probably going to be in the next few weeks, this is going to be the main content of the channel, most likely, and that'll be 2 videos a day, every day, so suddenly I'll have to ramp up how much I play on my main account quite a lot. So obviously, Diamond 2, 56% overall win rate, and right now that makes us in the top 0.2%. Nearly have that 0.1% again. I probably need to win one more game and then I'll be in the top 0.1 something percent, so hopefully we'll get there soon. But that, as you know, if you guys watch Panzer Dragon, he always goes, and that makes me ranked 50. That makes me in the top 4,000 on EU West. And obviously EU West is a much larger server than North America, so that's pretty good. But let's get into some basics. So the first thing we'll do is look at what's happened recently with my games. Let's turn on to rank solo. So I'll show you the point of where I actually started trying again. So I think it was here. Where are we? Here. So it was 5 days ago. So before that, I was on a 4-game win streak, but I wasn't really playing a lot. Like, I played, there's 10 days ago, then I had a day off, and then I played 4 games on the same day, and I won all 4. Then I had another 3-day gap, or whatever, 2-day gap. And now this is kind of where I've been starting to play a little bit more inconsistent. So one day I played 2 games of Shen. Next day I played 3 games, all top lane. So Darius, Aurelia, and Swain. That was Swain top. Some of these you'll recognize from the channel, obviously. Then I lost one, unfortunately, and that was through that, the disgusting guy's name that Riot has done nothing about so far. On the same day, this is where I ping-ponged a bit, and this is from memory where I was at 90 LP in Diamond 3. So I lost 1, lost 1, lost 1. That was one day. So I started it here at 90 LP, or roughly, and then I finished the day at 90 LP. I won this game to get me into promo, and then I won these 2 games to get me like the victory in promo, and boom, there we go. So yeah, not bad. From like this point down, like here, we were like Diamond 4, and now we're in Diamond 2 in the span of like, 3 days. That's really good. Let's just point out some things. So, control wards. We can already see, again, I'm trying to be unbiased. 0 control wards. 0 controls 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0. So, well, apparently I go through patches, because there's like 5 games in a row that I'm buying control wards, and then I go through a patch of no control wards. And obviously that in general isn't good. So that is also one thing I've already noted now in my head. Control wards are definitely important. And obviously what I will say, I think I may have said this in other op.gg reviews, is it is situational. If you're just wrecking your top lane and you don't mind the jungler coming to gank you, if you think you can 2v1, then it doesn't really matter. Or if I'm playing Shen and I don't care about vision because I'm just playing defensive, there's always a reason for it. But on the average, if I kind of look at this and kind of go, probably more control wards. Some people are saying, why do I go blue trinket pretty much in every game? That is my vision. So maybe instead of me buying control wards, I buy blue trinket. I love blue trinket because I'm usually quite good at scouting where people should be. I pop blue trinket and hey, I find somebody. So maybe that's what I do instead of control wards. But definitely that is something that I need to improve on. Kill participation. So again, like I've said in the past, you're looking between 50 to 60%. Anything above that's amazing, but between 50 60% is good. And obviously top lane is a bit harder to do that, but you're still looking for roughly that. You need to get involved if you want to be climbing, you need to be involved. So 50 to 60%, we've done it. We're a little bit low on the Vladimir there. That was that YouTube video. That was like that crazy comeback. 65, that's great. 40, bit low. 50, meh. Top lane Volibear. 55 is Shen, that's not bad. Low on Sion, very low on Shen here. Low on average on the Olaf, very low on the Swain. Which one? Oh, that was... See, again, sometimes it doesn't tell the full story. This was the game, the original, that I wrecked that Kled in the top lane. I didn't roam at all that game. Everybody just beat their own lane. So, like, I had a third of the kills. Azo had a third of the kills. The bot lane had a third of the kills. So, again, it doesn't tell the full story. Sometimes it's fine, but on average, you are looking for better kill participation. I don't even remember what happened this game. I went 0-5-2. We won the game... And I have a 7% kill participate. I honestly, I must have wiped that from my memory. So 47, 55 is good. 57 is not bad. Karthus 46, that's pretty bad for Karthus, to be honest. He's a global champion. 70% is good. 63 is good. 50 is not bad. So overall, my kill participation is not bad. You know, my overall, for the last 20 games of solo queue, my kill participation has been 47. So that definitely needs to get better. So that means I need to get involved more. And obviously, a lot of these games have been top lane. Like, I've been playing majority top lane recently. That could be why. But again, you do want to, like, again, there we go. 70% of my recent games have been top. Top lane is an isolated lane. So, you know, generally my rule is between 50 and 60% kill participation. Maybe top lane is between 45 and 60. Like, it is a hard lane to get involved in. As long as you win your solo, that's pretty much like really good. And if you win your solo, that is when you look to roam and kind of take over the game. Next thing, let's look at last hits. So 160, bit low, but again, it does vary depending how long the game. The more important number when you're looking at last hitting is actually the one in the brackets, because the overall, it depends how long the game goes. If the game only is like 15, if the game's only 15 minutes long, but you have 200 farm, that's amazing. If the game's 15 minutes long and you only have 100 farm, that's not that bad because it's only 15 minutes. So in the brackets, this actually tells you how many last hits you get per minute. This is actually the more important number. So 4.6, that's actually pretty damn low. So I definitely need to improve that on the Anivia. 6.8 is pretty good. Anything really above 6 is okay for me. Because obviously the early game, you get, I think it's around 2 to 3 minion waves roughly per wave, per minute, sorry. So obviously if you have 6 minions per little wave, you get 2 of them roughly a minute. There's like 12 minions per minute in the early game, but obviously the later the game goes, you're going to be last hitting less. There's more team fights, more objectives. But yeah, minimum I'd be looking for about 6 minions per minute. 6.5 to 7 is probably better though. But there's 6.8, 6.5, 7.5, 6, 6.6, 7.3, 5.9 a bit low, 5.8, 7.9 is pretty good, 7.7. So overall, my last hits aren't terrible, because again, 8.7 is great, 6.6. Because when you're looking at the bracket number, that's the more important number. And because again, my games may just go a little bit, you know, shorter. Like here, this game was only 22 minutes long, but we had 6.5 farm. If you looked at that number 147, that's not that great. But 6.5 isn't terrible. And obviously that was a weird... Like, again, I literally do not remember that game at all. I must have played that, like... I definitely know I had a spam session at, like, 1 or 2 a.m. But yeah, like, someone also noted, if you look at my victories, apart from the occasion one, a lot of my victories are pre-30 minutes or around 30 minutes. That we just snowball, take the lead, and win the game. So that's also something to note. Probably I'm quite good at snowballing. So yeah... Couple things already, more control wards, probably pick up the last hits, and also try to get involved a little bit more in kills. You know, in mid lane, it's probably not that bad. If you look at my mid lane champions, it's not that bad. Mainly in top lane, probably get, you know, more involved a little bit more. So there's that. Now we can look at our win rates and that type of thing with champions. So obviously, Xerath and Swain being our most played this season. 70% win rate, on Xerath, 58% win rate on Swain, both respectable to me, both with a not bad KDA respectively. Last hits on Swain could be a little bit higher, So that is also one thing to note. Darius then comes with an 83% win rate. Fizz, negative win rate. That's interesting to me. KD's not bad, but pretty high deaths. If you look at most of my champions, I'm always around the 5 on average deaths per champion. That's okay. Pretty high assists as well. Like my Xerath assists are really goddamn high. Got Camille, 71% win rate. 43 negative, 33 negative, 33 negatives for him. I've actually stopped playing Renekton because I actually noticed this maybe about 2 weeks ago. I was playing him, was doing okay, thought I was doing okay. Nope. Negative win rate, bad KD. So I've actually stopped playing Renekton. Instead of Renekton, recently I've picked up Shen, and I'm on 100% win rate 5 games with a really good KD there. Pretty good farm overall. So Shen has been kind of my thing that I'm like, I'm just going to play more Shen. And I've been mainly using him as a blind pick in top lane. If I don't know who I'm against, pick Shen. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Volibear, Viger, there's the new Aurelia. I've only played the new Aurelia on this account, so that's purely new Aurelia stats. Not bad, just need to play her obviously a little bit more. Karthus, actually started to pick him up a little bit again. Overall, good farm, good KD. Probably could be raising the kills and the assists there, but, you know. And again, the thing that people have to realize, like I've said before, is when you look at my games, I've hardly played many games. Like, my Xerath and Swain are 50 games played. Apart from that, so add those two as a roughly 50 games, a little bit over 50 games, and then 12, then 8, then 7, then 7, then 6. I don't play a lot of the same stuff. That will change if I'm looking to get back into Diamond 1, I will say. So you will start to see the same champions again and again and again. And this is, again, where I haven't recently been taking LoL seriously on my main account. But with Unranked to Diamond kind of coming to an end, I'm like, I probably should get back to Diamond 1. So you'll see my champion pool kind of go, whoop. And, you know, the thing that I'm already taking part of, so in your head, when you're looking at this yourself, is, okay, tick. Like, you're ticking stuff off, I'm going to continue to play that. So tick. Fizz is a weird one, so I'm not going to say yes or no. Camille, tick. So that's kind of what you're doing. Shen, tick. Karthus, tick. Aurelia, tick. And you're like, it's up to you to depend how big your champion pool is. Obviously, I'm somebody that has, you know, one of my foundations of being a good League of Legends player is playing a lot of champions. I never want to be bogged down. So my champion pool may be a little bit bigger than the average players, but still, I need to condense it. My Poppy's probably going to be more of a counter pick. Then we're moving into just, like, you know, 2 losses territory. That's actually really surprising with the Warwick. Then we got 1 wins territory, so we can look at some of these champions that we've had great performances in one game, and potentially, like, we could just continue to play them. Like, Fiora's always, like, potentially there. She's a great top lane duelist. She's relatively easy to play. You know, so she's always around, roughly. So, you know, it's just basically kind of like ticking champions that you think you're going to continue, dropping champions completely that are just no good to you, because like we've just got random 1 losses, and like I've mentioned to people, when you look at your random 1 losses, look at the KDs, because if you played something and you've done terrible with it, the chances are you just shouldn't have played it in ranked. So, like, obviously, there will be some outliers because Jace has always been one of my best champions. But, like, there, Nocturne. I went 4, 10, 6. Probably not a great performance. Why did I play Nocturne? These are the questions that you've got to ask yourself. You know, you're human. You're going to do occasional random stuff. But just don't make it a habit of doing it. Because, you know, if you count here, from 39 to 57... they're all losses that I probably could potentially, let's say I turned half of those into wins by playing champions I actually know how to play. Instantly, I'm higher rated. So that's the type of thing you've got to think about. So overall, my own profile, what I've got to work on is last hits, kill participation, narrowing down the champion pool, and probably buying more control wards. And to a lot of people, that's probably quite a lot of stuff. Not really. Like, again, that's stuff that you can adjust in, like, 2 games. Like, just, if you think about it, like I've said to people before, majority of people who play League play on autopilot. They're not thinking while they play. If I just think about that in the next 2 games that I play on my main account, it becomes more natural, becomes easier, and then, you know, you'll get it done. Also, some people have said, you know, about the MMR thing. So my MMR on this account is supposedly Diamond 1. This is where I actually issue a word of warning. Don't fully trust that type of thing. I've said it before. They're not perfect. The only people that have the actual math behind the MMR calculator is Riot. They have never released it to the public. These websites that do this sort of thing is just purely guessing. It's guesswork. So if you want to trust it or not, it's up to you. I personally don't trust it fully. The best way of determining how good your MMR is, you'll never find out the number, but how much LP are you gaining and losing depending you're winning and when you win and lose. That will more likely tell you if your MMR is in a good place or bad place than that. Anyway, that was quite long, but obviously it was my own profile, so I wanted to kind of go deep in it. But, I do want to make, this has been a pattern now. I want to have Master here. Season 8 Master. That's what I'm looking for at the end of the season. So anyway, let's get into the next person. So we'll do this. We'll do, probably only 2 more after this, because, again, we don't want to make this video go too long. My own profile review went quite long in itself. So we've got Disrep 2. Let's just update it so it's up to date. But I will say, obviously, we've had a pretty big gap between last episode and this episode. I'll do another episode in the next few days. Maybe it won't come out on YouTube, but we'll definitely do an episode in not that far away. All right, so EUS player, Disrupt 2, Silver 6 was Silver, Season 7 was Silver, and hey, you got Gold, so already improvement, really well done. So that's a brand new rating for you. So, congratulations. I bet that's felt great, because I will say Gold to the average rating, or the average player in League of Legends, Gold is the main goal. Yeah, there's Diamond and all that, but a lot of time that's out of reach. Gold is the main goal for the average player of League, because the skin, and it's a little bit more. You suddenly become, again, this is Gold 4. You're in the top 21% of the game. So, that's something. But let's get into it. Click solo only. So, first thing is positive win rate. That's good. Obviously, it's quite close, but still, that's fine. Does seem to be a support player. Again, I'm not going to be an expert at doing reviews for supports, obviously. But, recently, your last 20 games, positive win rate. So, that positive, 55% win rate for your last 20 games is actually higher than your overall win rate. So, that's a good sign. So recently you've gone Aftershock, 311, 29. Okay, so I'm already noticing one thing. Your deaths are relatively high, or unless you just went through a bad patch. So maybe the last couple days, 11, 9, 6, 6, 8, 8, 11. But then it goes down, 4, 2, 5, 3, 3, 5. 7's a bit high, but that's top lane. What's your overalls? 7.7, that's a bit high. 7.6 again, a bit high. When you're in the 7s, 9.5 is down, that's very high. Yeah, your deaths are really high. So that is also, one thing we can just straight away kind of go ding, 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 is your deaths are really high. So, again, it's an active effort to, while you're in game, think about it. I know you play supports and it looks like you play engaging champions. It's am I going to die here? Is it worth it? Instead of just doing it. Because again, if you're playing Thresh, you're just going to hook and you're just going to go. If you're Leona, you're just going to ult and E instantly. And I know sometimes it has to be instant or you're going to miss a kill. But maybe just take a little bit of a step back and kind of just go, is it worth? So obviously, yes, you do seem to be a support main. But obviously, your 3 top lane champions here. Which I'm presuming is Sion support. Oh no, it might be Sion top lane. But so your top lane champions, 7.3 deaths, but an overall good win rate. Darius, 9.5 deaths with a negative win rate, 8.9 deaths with an even win rate, and a 7.4 with 45. So, again, we've already said the point, have an active effort of not dying. Just think about it more. Does seem that you might do a bit of duo queuing. Again, I'd never advise people to duo queue. I would suggest you earn the rating you get. That's just me, and I know people disagree with that. That's fine. That's just me and with HuzzyGames. So yeah. Thanks so much. Enzel Height. What else can we look at? So, control wards for, again, you're a support player. Recently I was a top lane player, so, maybe a support player should definitely be buying more. 1, none, none, none. 1, 1, none, none, none. And obviously there's some top lane games here, but none, 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 none. 2, 1, 1, 1. So potentially, obviously, top lane needs, control wards needs to be more, for, just overall vision. Again, the one thing that we can compare me and with you is obviously I usually go blue trinket that can kind of spread my vision, where obviously you keep your yellow trinket every single game. So you will have wards on the map, you're a support, but having those control wards to be permanent, that type of thing, is probably okay. You know, a friend of mine in the chat right now, he's a diamond support main, and he's saying, as a good support, you should be going from 3 to 5 control wards per game, and he's a diamond main support. So again, I'm not a support player, so you know I'll look to him for that a bit of advice. But also, usually supports have red trinkets to deny enemies vision too, and you're not swapping to red trinket ever. Like even in your top lane games, you're staying with that yellow trinket. So maybe you are quite attached to that yellow trinket too. So let's go into the champions just really quick. So how many champions? You've only played 21. Get that out of there. Only 21 champions, which is fine. You know, you've played how many games? You've played, a decent amount of games. So only 21 champions for that amount of games is actually pretty good. It means that you're not going wild and you're not like just doing crazy stuff. So that's something to like be proud of. Because the majority of like bronze to gold people just play a random stuff and like, why aren't I climbing? So your top champions, again, your Leona seems to be fine, just high deaths. Thresh seems to be okay, you know, even win rate, but again, high deaths. I'm not going to say high deaths after every single one. I think I've said that point. Darius, Alawi. So if you're playing top lane, because it doesn't seem Darius is for you, it probably doesn't seem Alawi's for you. Just like looking at this, your Sion, I'd say continue because of the win rate's good. Jamie Brad, 1 year. Thanks so much, dude. But your Poppy seems a little bit better. Again, still higher deaths and kills and stuff like that, but your Poppy seems to be potentially a little bit better than the rest of these. Better win rate, more utility. So potentially look to pick up Poppy, drop the other stuff. And then Ornn, still, again, so maybe you need to like have a little bit of a break from ranked and go into normal games, pick up some new top laners, gets kind of consistent with them. Because right now, if you're a support main, but you seem to be support and top, it seems your top is really letting you down if you're wanting to consistently climb. Because obviously you can't get support every single game. You're going to get it maybe... If you get support 2/3, if you get support 66% of the time, that's great. And let's say you have a near 50% win rate with that, you're going to be slowly climbing. But let's say then you're 33% in your games, you're getting top lane, but you lose majority of those games. That's going to slow your climb down a lot. And hell, maybe even stop you climbing. So potentially go back to the drawing board with top lane, just go in normal games, practice for a little while, and yeah, just go from there. If you are playing ranked, you know, really at the moment, I would say just try your best to not get other things than support, but then obviously you're in the one trick territory there, which again I'd never recommend. Even for just one role, I always suggest having a couple roles that you play all the time, because that will increase your game knowledge. Not just for one role, increase your general game knowledge. So that's what I suggest. So hopefully that helped out. So again, people watching live, I can't do everybody at the moment. We're going to do one more now, but in the next couple of days we'll do another episode, and I am keeping note of who, like, Sven will do you next time, because someone did just donate bits. So yeah, I've got it up here who we're going to do, so don't worry. Unless this doesn't work, but yeah, boom. Unless it's North America. Okay, apparently that's not going to work for some reason. Okay, we'll do Sven now then. Boom. Boom. So yeah, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Alright, let's do this one. So Sven, let's just update. Alright, so EU West, Silver, you were Silver in Season 5, you're Platinum 5 in Season 6, and you're Platinum 2 in last season, so you're looking obviously to improve. Overall is 50% win rate with one game more, so there we go. Make sure that's on ranked solo. Plat 2, though, that is in the top 2.5% roughly of the game, so that's, you know, something, you know, really to be good at, you know, be proud of that. So, top lane main with a little bit of AD carry. So we've got Jace, who you've got, you know, good stats on. You've got a bit of Malphite. You know, I wouldn't recommend Malphite. A lot of Jace, actually. Holy. So are you the type of guy, Sven, that you have, like, say, one, like, you swap from champion to champ, but when you swap, you just spam it for a little while? Because that, you know, that's a lot of Jace in one go. There's a lot of Graves in one go. A little bit of Nidalee. So it does seem you're that type of player. So yeah, Sven's saying, yup. See, it's a good and a bad thing to do. I'll say you've got to be careful about doing that type of learning because it very much puts you on blinders. When you're playing just one thing, because this obviously goes back to one-tricking, and obviously this isn't one-tricking, but it's kind of the fundamental of one-tricking, that you only play one thing, so you kind of shut yourself off from everything else for a significant amount of games. So make sure you don't do it like all the time. And, you know, when you're talking about climbing, you know, you want to have consistency. This isn't going to be that consistent because you're going to be continuously picking up new stuff. So it's like, for example, you play Jace, so you just picked up Jace. So whenever your first game with Jace was, it's like you just picked up Jace. Then you're going to finish with Jace and you're going to pick up something new. It's like you're constantly in a state of picking up brand new stuff instead of just having your champion pool that you just know. Like, is it that you're building a champion pool, you've got your champion pool, and then you'll just play those champions, or are you just going to continue kind of picking up new stuff? Like, that is something that I would definitely think about. You are saying you played Jace before, you played for 6 years. Okay, true. But again, I would be careful of just doing the spam technique. I wouldn't recommend it for climbing. You know, obviously there's the two ways of climbing to me is one-tricking or champion pool, where you seem to be the hybrid in the middle, that you're a temporary one-trick. I think that's actually worse than both of either of these things. I think a one-trick will make you very consistent about that one thing, but it screws you in the long run. Champion pool player has your champion pool that you know, and you can adjust to each game. Where this is kind of in the middle, so you're kind of putting yourself on blinkers, that it's not that adaptable. Like you said, you picked Malphite here when it was a full AD team comp. So you did it once, but it's not that adaptable, and you're kind of closing yourself off. Because like the more, like you just spam Jace, but then what about the rest of the champions that you've got a good win rate on? And obviously it does depend what you want out of the game. Because like, you know, last season you finished Plat 2, which is really good. But do you want to get Diamond? If you want to get Diamond, then what I would suggest is basically you look at the champions. So obviously negative win rate there, but like there's some, you know, negative win rate there, but hell, good win rate, good win rate, good win rate. So your Darius, Jace, and your Olaf are great. Boom, there's your top lane champ pool. Stop picking up new champions, just play those three, rotate them out depending the team comp, and that's how you'll climb. That's how you'll get your consistency. So there's something. Obviously, yeah, someone's saying your last hitting is actually really good. Obviously, Jace is the king of last hits in top lane. Like, usually you're playing against a melee champion, so it's really, like, again, if you're playing Jace and you're not getting those, like, big last hit numbers, then yeah, but you are. So that is something really good. So well done for that. Continue that. Control wards, yeah, not bad. You know, you're not every game, but again, each game is different. There's a reason why you don't get them. So I'm not going to hound you for it, but it is something just to think about. You know, if you're kind of just like, oh, I've got, 100 gold, I've got a spare item slot, boom, you can get one. Let's look how many champions you played in total, though. Well, actually, firstly, you played around 240 games, and you've played 56 champions. Probably a bit too much. And obviously, like I've said in my own profile, from 44 to 56, so there's 12 games there that you've lost for playing a champion for the first time. If those didn't exist, if you played champions that you know instead of those games, and half of those turned into victories, well then you would probably, again, if just hypothetically, you'd be Plat 1 right now. So it's the way that you've got to kind of think. But as for your top stuff, so your Swain, it seems it's a bit rough. Negative KD again. Like again, KDA is including the assists, but KD, you've got a negative KD, more deaths than kills, with a negative win rate. So obviously not great there. Pretty good Darius stats with good overall farm. Jinx, really good farm, good KD, good win rate. Jace, obviously you've just recently spammed him, but not bad farm at all. Good KD, great. Gangplank does seem a little bit rough, and again, I personally dropped Gangplank myself, because Gangplank's just not very good anymore, unfortunately. Like, he's such a hit or miss champion, and he's one of those type of champs that if you hit with him and you're like doing well, you've actually got to play really well anyway. Like, if Gangplank in his current state, you've got to basically play him like 110% to make him work. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. Your Olaf seems pretty good. I'd actually recommend Olaf really well as a top laner. so many people underestimate him. I play Olaf personally as a specific matchup. If someone picks Singed, I always pick Olaf. It's amazing because so many people don't know his damage, and you just can't stop him. And if you snowball in top lane, you just take over the game. So I would continue with Olaf. Graves doesn't seem bad, but I wouldn't say Graves is very strong right now. Orianna is a little bit random to be here, but I guess she might be on mid laner if you just get auto-filled to mid. Kai'Sa, not bad. So again, now we're moving into the territory of just like you're playing here and there champions. And this is where you basically just look for the diamonds in the rough of like stats and win rates and stuff that potentially you could keep going. So like here, you've only got 2 games of Echo, but your KD's fantastic and your farm's really good for an Echo who is an assassin. So potentially look to pick up Echo more. Like I know you have your Orianna for your autofill potentially in mid lane, but your Orianna, where is your Orianna? Your Orianna, you got 10 games with a negative KD with 225 farm. Your Echo is only 2 games, but significantly better. So that's potentially something that you can look into. Your Alawi doesn't seem, 0-2. But yeah, overall, honestly, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll probably keep climbing. Obviously, a very dead even win rate there. And obviously, that is probably coming with a little bit of the inconsistency of you just swapping to different champs. Like, you swap to Gangplank, and you have a negative win rate. You went to the Swain, negative win rate. If you get out of like if you get rid of like I'm jumping to different champion mentality and just kind of bog down to the champions that you're good at, you'll probably get diamond pretty easily, to be honest. Because Darius, Jason, Olaf are actually 3 very good carry champions to get to diamond. So yeah, overall pretty good. I think you'll get there. But yeah, good luck, dude. So that is going to be it for today's op.gg. As I said, we'll do another episode in the next few days. But yeah, if you guys like these, let me know. If you have anything you want me to add during these, if anything you've got any more topics you want me to add, put it in the comments. And yeah, I'll look into that. And hopefully we'll keep climbing on my main account. Again, just hit Diamond 2. Hopefully we'll get Diamond 1 soon. And I'll see you guys next time. So like, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.